You can use conditional statements to execute a particular piece of code only if a condition is true. I have a statement here which is printing if on my HTML page. I would like to execute this line only if a condition is true. For that, I'm going to use if block. I'm going to say if a particular condition is true, then I would like to execute some lines of code in these curly braces. I'm going to cut this line and put it in my if block here. Now if I refresh the page, then also it's going to print if because this condition is true. But if I change that to false and then refresh the page, then it's going to print nothing because this condition is false now. I can use else block if the first condition is false. I can use else if the first condition is false, then I would like to execute some other lines. I'm going to copy this line, and instead of printing if, I'm going to print else because now else will get executed. If I refresh the page, now it's going to print else here. You can also put conditions on your else block by using else if. You can say else if, pass some condition. I'm going to pass true here, and then I want to execute some lines of code, and I'm going to print else if on my page. So the first condition is false, but the second condition is true, and the last condition won't get executed because the second condition is true. So if I refresh the page, it's going to print else if on my page. And you can have as many as else if blocks as you like. I can have multiple else if blocks. I can say if the first condition is false, second condition is false, and third condition is false, but the fourth condition is true, then I would like to print else if 4. And now if I refresh the page, then it's going to print else if 4. You can also pass variables instead of passing these hard-coded Boolean values. I can say let print is equal to true, which is a Boolean identifier. It's a Boolean identifier. I can pass that in my if else if blocks here. And now if I refresh the page, then it's going to print if because the first condition is true. If I set this to false and then refresh the page, then it's going to print else because all of these conditions are false and the last statement is true. So this is how you can use if else blocks to execute a particular piece of code only when the condition is true. In the next section, I'm going to talk about comparison operators.